In December 2024, the Australian government hired one of the world's largest consulting firms to fix a broken welfare system, one that was actively penalizing the country's poorest citizens. 7 months and $290,000 later, the report landed. There was just one problem. The entire thing had been written by AI. Fake references, fake quotes from a fake court hearing, citations to academic papers that didn't exist anywhere. Deloitte had charged the Australian government for work that didn't even pass a ChatGPT plagiarism check. And here's where it gets uncomfortable. That wasn't a one-off. Last quarter, McKinsey lost 3 Fortune 500 clients, not to BCG, not to Bain, but to boutique firms with 12 employees you've never heard of. PwC is bleeding staff after a government spying scandal. EY just walked away from 84 audit clients in a single year. The companies that ran corporate America for a century are starting to crack, and what's replacing them is going to change everything about how business works. These firms didn't get here overnight. For decades, they built themselves into monopolies, not by being the best, but by being the only option that boards felt safe hiring. Nobody ever got fired for hiring McKinsey, but that safety came with a cost nobody talked about. Behind the prestige, behind the marble lobbies and 6-figure PowerPoint decks, the actual work was getting worse. Year after year, the product degraded, and 3 forces are about to collide in a way that could bring the whole thing down. AI is making their workforce obsolete. Governments are starting to break them apart. And for the first time in history, a solo consultant with a laptop can compete with Deloitte. To understand why this collapse matters, you have to understand what these firms actually became. In the 1970s, multinational corporations exploded. IBM, Coca-Cola, Ford, they all needed someone to check their books across dozens of countries, each with different tax codes and accounting rules. The solution was independent audit firms. Originally, there were 8 of them, the Big 8. They sat at the center of corporate America. By the late 1980s, they controlled 98% of all public company audits. Then came the consolidation. Firms that couldn't keep up got absorbed. By the 2000s, only 5 remained. After the Enron scandal took down Arthur Andersen in 2001, we were down to 4. Today, those 4 firms audit 498 of the 500 largest companies in America. The average company takes 23 years to switch auditors. BCE, Canada's largest telecom, has been audited by Deloitte for 144 years straight. And in the 1980s, they realized something crucial. Reputation wasn't just useful for audit, it could sell advice. That's how management consulting was born. By 2023, the Big Four were pulling in $95 billion from consulting alone, more than the $66 billion they made from audit and assurance combined. They had become the most profitable monopoly in corporate history. The problem is, monopolies don't tend to stay good at their jobs. In 2014, PwC was conducting what should have been a routine audit of Tesco, one of Britain's largest retailers. They managed to overstate the company's projected quarterly profits by £250 million, almost 30% higher than reality. And this isn't rare. In 2022, regulators found that 43% of EY audits had what they called a deficiency, meaning the auditor did not even gather enough evidence to support the opinion they were signing off on. The next year, EY was forced to walk away from 84 audit clients, giving up $215 million in FEs. Across all Big Four firms, the average deficiency rate more than doubled in just 2 years, from 12% in 2020 to 26% by 2022. 1 in 4 audits deficient. Now, if you are a board member and your auditor keeps giving you work that regulators flag as insufficient, at some point you start asking, what exactly am I paying millions of dollars for? That question alone would be dangerous. But there's a bigger problem, and it's moving faster than anyone expected. For decades, the Big Four's competitive advantage was simple: scale. They could throw armies of junior staff at data extraction, document review, and pattern matching. At Harvard, 57% of the class of 2022 went straight into finance, consulting, or tech. The talent pipeline was a conveyor belt. AI just broke that model. The grunt work that used to require 200 junior analysts can now be done by software supervised by a team of 5. McKinsey announced plans to cut roughly 10% of its workforce. PwC slashed 1,500 US roles. Deloitte, EY, and KPMG are all quietly shrinking. And critically, none of this technology is exclusive to the big firms. The same AI that lets Deloitte process documents faster also lets a 12-person boutique do work that used to require 300 people. McKinsey didn't lose those 3 Fortune 500 clients to BCG. They lost them to firms like Xavier AI, Perceptus, and Keystone, names most people have never heard of, operating with headcounts smaller than a single McKinsey partner team. The size of your headcount stopped being an advantage. It became a liability. As if AI disruption wasn't enough, there's a third threat, and it might be the one that actually breaks them. These companies have a fundamental conflict of interest. The same firm that audits your books also sells you consulting on how to run your business. They're marking their own homework. And sometimes it goes way beyond that. In 2013, the Australian Treasury hired a PwC partner named Peter Collins to help design new laws to stop multinational companies from dodging tax. He signed 3 separate confidentiality agreements. Then he shared that confidential government information with at least 53 PwC partners who used it to help clients, including Google, get ahead of a law PwC itself had helped design. When the scandal broke, PwC was forced to sell its entire government consulting business in Australia for $1. In the UK, all 4 firms have now been forced to operationally separate their audit practices from consulting. In the United States, the poster child of free market capitalism, the Senate is considering a full breakup. If that happens, both sides lose. Consulting is the profitable arm, $95 billion versus $66 billion for audit. But consulting only exists in its current form because of the credibility and client access that audit built over a century. Cut them apart and both get weaker. So if the big 4 are shrinking, what fills the gap? 3 things are happening at once. First, companies are bringing work in-house. If the main value these firms provided was cheap, high-quality labor for document review and data extraction, and I can now do that internally, why pay millions for an outsider's opinion your own team can generate in an afternoon? Second, boutique firms are scaling up fast. For the first time, a firm with 30 people can match the output of a firm with 300,000. The barrier to entry, that massive headcount you needed to do grunt work, has collapsed. And third, this is the one that changes everything. The work might stop requiring a firm at all. Historically, you needed a firm because any serious consulting or audit engagement required more labor than one person could produce in a reasonable time frame. AI just eliminated that bottleneck. A single experienced professional, someone who spent 15 years inside McKinsey and knows exactly what clients are paying for, can now deliver the same output alone, undercutting the big 4 dramatically on price simply because they don't have a $10 billion overhead to support. We're about to see an entirely new category of competitor that doesn't resemble a firm at all. The model that dominated corporate America for a century is breaking in 3 directions at once. AI is eating the labor advantage. Governments are breaking up the monopoly, and the talent is walking out the door to compete on their own. McKinsey, Deloitte, PwC, these names won't disappear overnight. They're too big, too embedded, too politically connected for that, but the golden age is over. What comes next will be smaller, faster, cheaper, and for the first time in decades, actually competitive.